What's going on, boys and girls? Biker Dave here, working on my uncle's 1981 Honda CB650. Four-cylinder bike that also has 4 carburetors. And they look like this, but times 4. It's a Keihin VB series, VB44. Now, I am no expert on these classic bikes, but I've worked on my share of carburetors, so I am rebuilding these. And everything seems to be going okay. The good thing is you can get rebuild kits all over the internet, and most of them actually come kind of generic, which come with extra stuff that you don't need, like these, pilot jets and other miscellaneous jets and things. But the good thing is they all come with the basic, the base gasket for the float bowl area. Comes with those. Comes with the jet holder and the jet and the fuel screw, or the air fuel mixture screw, as well as washer and O-rings and tons of, variety of O-rings. Also the needle right there, it comes with all that. So, pretty much if you just Google your year, make, and model, as long as everything looks correct, you should be fine. As well as the float as well. It comes with the float, the little float post, the valve, the float valve, comes with all that. However, one interesting thing is this set of carbs, a lot of it is vacuum driven. It's got this big plunger system in the top up there that has to raise up and raise down. And notice this guy right here. This is what's in between 2 of the carbs. It kind of just slides over that hole right there, and then the other carburetor would butt up against it right there. And notice, now here's 2 of the carbs that are put together already. Look at how close that is. Inside here, right there, this little gap right here is where this little T-shaped rubber hose, it's rubber, something to note, is where it goes. And it joins, both pairs. So this pair as well as carb 3 and 4 pair. All right, now it's mainly for air transference. It's not for fuel, but still, look at how cracked the original one is. Now, remember, this is a 1981 bike, so quite old. And look how cracked the hose is. Now, you will drive yourself mad trying to find a replacement for this rubber hose right here. I've gone all over, hardware stores and internet and you just name it, and I can't find anything specific like this in rubber hose form. And notice how short it is also. That's another issue that's difficult. Everything else is not so bad. You can get these rubber hoses here all day long. That matches up, to the fuel line separator. These as well, those are pretty easy to get. I have a whole assortment of various, rubber hose for vacuum use and for fuel use. All right, so what do you do? What do you do when you need to basically create this, unless you can find it somewhere? And if someone can post underneath where they found this exact thing. Notice it's not very large either. See, it's pretty darn small. So here's what I did. With standard, rubber fuel hose or vacuum hose, whatever you want, I am creating my own. Here's the other one. See, there's 2 sets of these here. So I'm basically creating my own. I actually hand cut a little U-shaped V, for the long hose to fit down on the little one. And then I drilled a hole in this one to meet up with the hole that's down in there. Now, I haven't trimmed it all the way yet because I'm still going to let this dry, for a full day. Anyway, so, I hate hate to bring anyone bad news, but this is something that's very difficult to buy. Such a simple little thing. Anyway, so I created my own, and the glue I used, the adhesive I used is Loctite shoe glue, because it it dries pretty quickly. It's a little bit thicker than, say, super glue, and it also can fill in gaps and things, and it hardens pretty firmly, as well as be slightly flexible once it's totally cured, which can take 1 to 2 days. So that's what I'm using. I've never tried it, but I'm just doing my own little decision making and research, and that's what I'm using to join these two T-pieces together. Now all you have to do is, once it's cured, if you want to make sure it is functioning properly, just cover both ends with your finger and then suck in through the top of the hose, and if it holds vacuum, your fingers will be difficult to separate from the bottom of the hose. And that's what I did, and so far it seems to be working fine. Anywho, yeah, don't you hate that? About some older bikes, I mean, some parts are readily available and others not so much. So I just want to throw that out at you guys. I don't have a lot of experience with these bikes, with the older 4-cylinder bikes, but the good thing is the carbs are fairly basic to rebuild and clean and whatnot. Just keep everything organized. You can replace all the screws. You can get an entire set of new universal screws for pretty much every screw on the carb. That's cool. All the basic rubber hoses, you can get pretty much that anywhere. You might have to get you one that's already bent like this, which I do have. Notice you can buy a generic rubber hose set that's already formed, and then you can just trim off what you need, to make it fit properly. Okay, so just throwing some tips at you on what I've found working on this for the past few days. Now I'm just using good old gunk parts cleaner, letting one of them sit in there for a few minutes, and then I'll brush it with standard brushes and whatnot, and then blow it all out with compressed air. Also, these tubes here that join the carbs, they go here and here. You'll likely need to replace the O-rings, and these kits seem to have a fair amount, or you can just buy a universal set of an assortment of O-rings. You can get those on Amazon as well, anywhere else. That's another place where a leak can come out of these if you've never rebuilt yours, is through these joining tubes. The O-rings go bad and get flat, and fuel can leak out of these little junctions. And I've got those already put together. Alright, see these tubes? You got one there and one right behind it. When you take let's say you remove this butterfly right here with these two Phillips screws, then these two carbs can split apart, and that way you can get to these tubes. Okay, so that's the only tricky part, is make sure you remove the screws, till that butterfly off, then this whole rod can slide out, and that'll allow you to get to this and replace the O-rings. Also remember the spring that's in between, it sort of gives it some tension apart, so they stay evenly separated. But see these screws here? These are all new replacement screws. You can get those online as an assortment. Very handy, because some of those get stripped out over the years, and same underneath there. So you can and you can polish it off with your bench brush metal wheel, even with a denim wheel, and make it look good again. Make it look at least better than 40 years old. And anyway, that's it. Not going to do a ton of videos on this because I'm definitely no expert, but it's not too bad. Getting to everything is pretty self-explanatory. What I'm doing is keeping everything numbered so that I know how they go back, and I'm taking photos as I take everything apart. That way I can refer to them when it's time to put them back together. I try to do that when I'm working with anything that's rather intricate and detailed. You know, because it's just, there's a lot to deal with, a lot going on. Oh, one thing. Here's your fuel mixture screw. When you take that screw out, there's going to be a tiny washer with a tiny O-ring under it. The only way I've found to get that out is with a little bitty paper clip that has been modified. See, I kind of trimmed it, modified it. Then you can fish it out from the cavity that the mixture screw comes from. That's the only way I found to get that out of there. And make sure that you get them out. This is the same, you know, for a lot of modern motocross bikes with carburetors. If you don't get that hardware out of there properly and reinsert it properly, you'll be difficult to jet the carburetor and adjust it properly. So that's just something that, you know, I discovered while doing this job as well. Anyway, I don't have the bike here, but if you see my other videos, my uncle was the second owner of this 1981 Honda CB650. And he bought it in 1983 and has had it ever since. We got it running after, you know, working on it for a couple of days, and then we found a couple of leaks in the carburetor, so that's, you know, why we're doing this now. But the bike runs quite well considering it's been sitting forever. So see my other videos. I'll put a link down below for the playlist link, you know, that'll show other videos about it. But we also have, you know, more than 1,500 videos relating to cars, dirt bikes, ATVs, scooters, motorcycles, street bikes, motocross stuff, Harley stuff, you know, classic car stuff, hot rod stuff, convertible stuff, foreign cars, domestic cars, all kinds of crap on our channel. So check it out. And look in the description of this video for our social media links and our eBay and Amazon store links. We sell motorcycle related parts and specialty tools that you might need if you like working on your own stuff. So check it out. And y'all have a great day. We'll see you all later.